Mm-hmm.
Hello, what is up? Welcome to episode 345 of the Center Ring Esports podcast presented by Alt. And yes, this is going to be the best episode ever because we have an emergency yikes of the week. It's Blizzard Activision Blizzard again, if you can believe it or not. So no, you are not having deja vu. They just did it again. So we have to talk about them again. Also, my too soon review for Pokemon Unite. Is it the next big esport? Stay tuned and find out. Also, quite loaded e-news to get to wrap up the show. But before we do that, let me tell you about the show sponsor in Alt Esports. You go to altesports.com right now and you can pick yourself up a beautiful 101 Burglars hoodie that for the reasonable price of $70, I believe. You can even go here and get some new shorts for the summer as things are heating up. $30 for mesh shorts. What a deal. Even their most expensive hoodie, $175. You're saying, why is it $175, Tim? And I will tell you, it's because it is covered with crystals. That is right. Crystals on your hoodie. You can't get any more bling than that for $175. It's not a $2,500 backpack. I'll give you that. You don't have to take a loan out to get alt, but you can get alt and you can look good. Do that altesports.com and you tell them the Center Ring sent you.
Hey, this is Mango. You're listening to TSR.
TCR.
TCR?
TCR. The Center Ring.
That's what I said. I did say TCR.
Okay, so let's start.
Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome. Welcome back to another edition of the Center Ring, aka TCR, aka your favorite esports podcast, presented by Alt, coming to you live, or episode 345 coming to you live, and or pre-recorded from an undisclosed location. The date, July 22nd, 2021. The time is 9:06 p.m. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter at The Center Ring and our website, tcr.gg. Twitter also has Discord links, Patreon links if you're into it, all that fun stuff. At The Center Ring. My name is Tim. I will be your captain for this journey into esports, and alongside me, as always, is my best friend, my brown friend. It's Anuj. What is up?
Did I show you my new Gucci bag I just got? How would you feel if I pulled up on the show with the new 100 Thieves Gucci bag?
I would assume you bought it to carry your divorce paperwork then.
God, dude.
If either one of us come home and show up with a new 100 Thieves Gucci anything, you will expect a phone call from me and asking you to clean your spare bedroom.
Instantly out on the streets.
Like, no questions
Like if
asked.
I walked in with a 100 Thieves Gucci bag and a Fnatic Gucci watch, I wonder what kind of trouble I'd be in.
It would, I mean, first off, I don't even think they would definitely get the alerts from the bank, first of all. So there's no even hiding it. Like, I don't even know if my card allows that much limit at once. Like, buying a Gucci watch and a bag at the same time. I would have to get what's a runner? Is that what drug dealers call them?
Yeah.
A runner? I would need a runner. But no. Unbelievable. I'm not gonna lie. We get things wrong on the show. We're not perfect, Anuj. We might be the number one esports podcast out there, and that's a fact. But it doesn't mean we're perfect. I feel really dumb when I guessed that a t-shirt was going to be $150.
Yeah, no, I knew that was dumb though, so at least we were halfway there. I knew it would be...
Right.
Now, thinking that it would be like a $600 or $700 shirt still feels a little dumb now that we've seen $2,500.
I just didn't know Gucci prices in general. So the markup I feel like was about right because even the 100
shirt versus bag type thing.
Right, but damn. Hey, and you know what? We were gonna save this for Yikes of the Week, but let's bring it up now because we're already talking about it. The 100 Thieves Gucci reveal. It is a Yikes of the Week. It is, but not the partnership. I am not knocking. Listen, if Gucci approached us and said we want to make a $2,500 TCR backpack, I'd say make that bitch $3K. Like, why stop at 25, right? Like 100 Thieves did 2,200. No, I want a $3K backpack. Okay, I'm not knocking the partnership because that's awesome. The price, though, is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I've come to realize that, looking at what Fnatic did with Gucci, looking at now what 100 Thieves has done, like, it's tailored to a very specific. This is not meant to be available to the wide public
No.
audience, right? Like, that's not what it's for. It's for the diehard fan that's got a little extra spending cash that wants to support them. So I understand the pricing too. That's the thing. Now that we knew that it was a Gucci deal that they were doing, like, we knew it was going to be outrageously expensive. It would have been weird if this was $500. Like that would have been the yikes of, wow, you did a Gucci brand deal and you came out with a $300 backpack. Like, that would have seemed cheap. So I mean, it's on par for what it is. It's a badass partnership. Like you said, can't even knock them for the partnership. It's a amazing brand deal for them. And honestly, like, the price seems kind of fitting when you go compare it to other Gucci bags. How big is the audience for it? Probably really small, but it's also the point. Like, it's the point of this is to show that 100 Thieves partnered with Gucci. That's the headline, right? Not that we're going to sell 10,000 backpacks this year. That's not going to happen. They'll sell a couple hundred, maybe. Like, honestly, that would be it. Maybe a couple hundred plus however many they're giving away to influencers and in their own crew. So the story here is
the
just
only
100
people that
Thieves
can
and Gucci
afford this
partnering.
stuff is like Nade Shot and Courage. Like, if I see any of their casual fans, like, at the next, like, stage 5 Call of Duty rocking a Gucci bag, I'm just gonna assume that they're like billionaire 16-year-olds. Because even
the parents got some money at that point.
like, even at 16, I felt like I would have known better to spend. I'm like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm 31 and I spend money on stupid shit now. But I think even at 16, I would have known better to.
But if you were 16 with millionaire parents that didn't care what you spend,
Well, that's different.
Exactly. That's who it's for.
Right.
It's for the different crowd, right?
Right.
It's for that crowd that looks at a $2,400 bag and is like, I already have one, but I don't have 100 Thieves one, so let me get that too. Like, that's the crowd that it's for.
Just imagine when we were growing up, Abercrombie was like the cool stuff. Like, that was expensive. Now it's a $2,200 backpack from Gucci. Unbelievable. But hey, like I said, congratulations, because that's awesome for 100 Thieves. Like, if, again, I'm not knocking the hustle, just knocking the price. But that's not really their fault. That's just Gucci in general. So there you have it. All right. Let's get on to the show. Follow up from last week, because we didn't get to discuss it because they were in the midst of the finals of the bracket. But Smash Summit did end up wrapping up. Mango ended up defeating HBox in the losers bracket final, and then Zane in the winner bracket final. It had everything you could ask for in a Smash tournament. It had Mango versus HBox, like automatic tune-in. In fact, it was an automatic tune-in, because even after the show, we were hanging out in Mumble, of all things, with our buddy Ronnie, who's a big Smash guy. But he doesn't like hardcore watch the pro scene.
He's not esports.
Right.
Guy.
But even him, as soon as you were like Mango HBox, he was like, oh, hold on. And he stayed up to finish watching the match. Like, even he knows.
That felt like the finals, right? Because I did not watch the finals after that. However, I was getting Tim's all caps text messages as the finals were taking place around midnight, but on a Sunday. So thank you for that.
Hey,
FGC
no
community.
problem.
Not you. I get why you were excited. The timings for their events blow my mind. Like, no event can end before 1 a.m. on a Sunday.
No.
But you're right. We did
it doesn't matter which event either. If it's a fighting game event, for whatever reason, the quickest matches in all of esports also go on until about 2 a.m.
You get these bracket busters, and you get these, it's just crazy. It's fun, it's obviously anytime you can get Mango and HBox going head to head. We don't know how many more times you're gonna get to see that. And I was more surprised that you let me know that was Mango's first Summit win.
Yes, yeah. So when he defeated Zayn in the finals, bracket reset, right? So we had a bracket reset because Mango came from losers, and then you had it go all the way to match number 10, right? So even the distance, and it came down to the final stock. Both of them had one stock 0%. I mean, it was peak Smash drama, and the fact that we're back in person. I mean, I when the bracket reset, I ran into the living room to go turn it on the big screen. I mean, I couldn't sit down. I was on my feet. When Mango won, I had a out loud like shriek, like a let's go, and I had to like quickly quiet down because I know the kids are sleeping. Don't wake the kids. Don't wake the kids. But I was jacked. Like it was like a feeling that you haven't, and I guess that's like it was the wake up moment for me because even throughout COVID, towards the end, I was like, you know what? It's okay that this stuff's online. It's still entertaining. It's still good. No, it doesn't matter. Nothing.
Well, then you
beats...
go and get not only Smash, but then we got a taste of Counter-Strike
Mhm.
on, online versus on LAN, and same thing with Call of Duty and all these events as they're coming back. Like the hype is
Right.
building, and it's
Nothing
happening
beats
quick.
esports on LAN. Like you just
Yeah.
feel the energy through the stream.
There's one
Nothing,
thing:
nothing beats it.
esports on LAN with fans. That's the
Very
one
true.
thing that beats esports on LAN.
Very true.
Once we have fans back in a stadium, you want to talk about hype meters going to an all-time high. I mean, just imagine if Cologne had a full stadium and Simple was doing what he was doing in front of that crowd. Like everybody would have been a Navi fan that day, regardless of where the event was. So,
Yeah, for sure.
um,
For sure. Also, though, Anuj, what we might have to look forward to esports in person, maybe with sold out stadiums, one day, is Pokemon Unite. As Nintendo and Pokemon have released their newest game in the Pokemon lineup, Pokemon Unite has been advertised for a very long time. It's I believe in August. Don't quote me on this, but I think sometime next month or maybe September, it's going to go on mobile. So even if you don't have a Nintendo Switch, you will be able to play it. I assume the accounts are going to link and be all one. So if you play on the Switch, you can play same account on mobile, given how the sign-ins and friend lists work. I assume it's all going to be the same. But Anuj, I'm going to give you my too soon review on Pokemon Unite because I know you, although you have a Switch, don't currently have it, correct?
yeah, it's been in my sister's house for the last year and a half.
Okay, so you have not
No,
gotten
no,
a chance.
before you even give me your too soon review, Pokemon Unite is their MOBA, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
so this is basically a spin-off of our League of Legends and Dota. Like it's gonna be from what I saw, a very similar style of like they're essentially it's a copy or copycat of that genre, right?
I mean, it's a MOBA, right? After
Yeah.
playing it, I would not say it's a copycat of League or Dota in the
In the
sense.
sense of like the game style it's a true MOBA. There's not many like quirks and gimmicks to it other than you're
Right.
playing with Pokemon characters and you have their abilities for each character. I mean, but it's the same type of game. So we know a lot of people are going to gravitate towards it because a MOBA, huge genre, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, and then Pokemon, one of the biggest brands of all time, kind of coming together. So I feel like instantly that's like already kind of a win, right?
Yes. And so this is where it gets me into my too soon review for Pokemon Unite. Now, Anuj, I was born in the year 1990, June 20th, 1990. Now, that means I am 31 years old today. That also means that I am morally obligated to enjoy and love everything that is Pokemon. I was born and raised on Pokemon. So that is disclaimer number one, that I have to love everything Pokemon. So if you let me I have two reviews for this. First, let me put on my Pokemon fanboy hat, okay? Just so everyone watching understands that this is the first review and this is a review as a Pokemon fanboy of Pokemon Unite.
And no PC, correct?
No PC. And it's Nintendo, so it will never go PC. Though, in Windows 11, we are going to get apparently where you can have apps on your PC. So I wonder how that will work. I've always wondered that, but that's neither here nor there. So this is my review as a Pokemon fanboy, my too soon review for Pokemon Unite. This game is awesome. It is exactly what I was hoping for in the sense of it is a MOBA, like you said, very much, League of Legends, Dota, right? We all know what a MOBA is listening to this podcast, I assume. However, it is the most simple form of a MOBA. Like, I have not played really I haven't played League of Legends and Dota in probably years. Like, actually play and and cared about winning or anything in those games in much over a year. This is like, if I had to power rank complexity for a MOBA, you have League of Legends and Dota on top. And then you have Heroes of the Storm. And then I've never played Smite, but it looks pretty simple. And then you have this game. Like,
why is it so simple in your eyes?
So
what makes it so simple?
So one of the things that makes it simple is that there's only technically 2 lanes and then a middle, right? So however you want to look at it, but there's only 2 lanes in it. And it's not like there's creep, right? You don't have to manage creep. You don't have to manage bases and then the bases shoot at you or anything like that. The way it works is you have Pokemon, I forget what they call them in the game, but you have essentially Pokemon around the map that you go and defeat. They drop balls, Pokeballs or whatever, that you go and then distribute into the towers, right? If you're calling them like a normal MOBA. And then eventually, the more you distribute to them, it will defeat the towers and you can kind of move faster in the enemy zone to keep distributing them more and more. The other great thing about this, though, it's not like a normal MOBA where you have to defeat the enemy base to win. For at least an unranked match, I don't know if ranked is any different in settings, it's a 10 minutes. 10-minute countdown, and at the end, whoever has scored the most wins. So
you're not going to have these 45-minute drawn-out games, hour games.
It isn't going to be 45 minutes. You're not going to have this back and forth, and all that. No. It's very straightforward. It's score-oriented. Take the Pokeballs, put them into the enemy's towers or base. You get points for that. If you defeat an enemy Pokemon, then some of theirs will drop and you can collect it and steal them and things like that. Now, you do have jungle Pokemon, like how in normal MOBAs you have like jungle and you have to go and defeat them, and each one will have a particular boost that it gives you. But on its core level, very simple, very easy to understand. There is also nothing better than being Pikachu, which is I'm finding to be my favorite in the game. And like it is. You are a Pokemon. Like Pikachu kicking Charizard's ass. Nothing cooler than that. So that's awesome. Like if you're a Pokemon fan, I think you would love Pokemon Unite. Now, that being said, there are a lot of Pokemon fans out there that don't know anything about a MOBA. And that is painfully obvious when you get some on your team or if you're fighting them. Because you think like people are like, oh, I'm a Pikachu fighting this water type Pokemon. This should be easy. No, there is no, from what I've gathered, weakness. It doesn't matter if it's an electric versus water. They don't include, that's not a factor in the game. So that's just part of it. People will learn. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. So anyways, as a Pokemon fanboy, Pokemon Unite, awesome, must download. It's free to play. And it's, like I said, it's exactly what I was hoping the game would be. A very easy to pick up, maybe hard to master. Obviously, I'm not at that level yet to where it matters, but I'm sure it's a hard to master game. But it's awesome. I think aesthetically, it's what you would expect from a Pokemon game. It doesn't look bad, right? It
looks very basic.
It looks very Pokemon.
There is no like character, like there's no definition to the characters, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like they're very
I designed my own character, and even I look at myself thinking I look like a chick in the game. Like it is, you want to talk about gender neutral? It's just everyone looks the same. So yeah, no, but that's very Pokemon. Like, go and play the Pokemon card game online or any other Pokemon game. It's just it's what you've come to expect when it comes to that. Okay. So, Pokemon Fanboy, 2 thumbs up. Definitely go download it, play it. It's a lot of fun. And I played it all day yesterday. I played it a lot today. I'll probably play it after the show, play it over the weekend. It's good.
On your Switch or on your phone?
Well, it's not on the phone yet, so I played it on the
okay.
Switch. And honestly,
Do you think there is an esports factor to this?
Okay. So that will get me into my review part 2. Pokemon Fanboy hat coming off.
Yeah, I need Tim co-host hat on right now.
Now, as a non-Pokemon fanboy, my review for this game is, this game sucks. There is so many missed opportunities that Nintendo missed the ball completely on this game. And it's one of the reasons why I hate Nintendo so much. And even like Nintendo and the Pokemon company, it's like they don't know how to get out of their own way with their product. They need to understand their target market. Yes, I will admit that I'm a 31-year-old bitching about a Pokemon game, but that's also like you have to understand part of their target market. I would say Pokemon is the weirdest bell curve ever in the sense of like you still have fans that are figuring out about it at 5 years old, but you also have like the veterans in their 30s who grew up with it, right?
Who have money now, who are spending $100,000 on a card.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
like that's happening. Pokemon's card craze has gone up to an all-time high over the past year and a half.
So with that being said, I would like to think this game has some type of future esports potential just because it's a MOBA and as we've seen, just suits esports so well, right? But there are certain factors in this that are just going to hold it back completely, starting from the Switch in general. If you think it's difficult to jump into like a Dota or League solo queue, try doing that on a game with 0 native communication. There is no voice comm with Switch. The only communication you have for your teammates in Pokemon Unite is an in-game D-pad conversation list, you know?
Like emotes essentially.
Yeah, kind of like, like Rocket League where you can like select it and then it will say like, nice shot, going for the pass, right? Shoot. Similar to that. And it just, first off, it just doesn't even flow properly. And that's just the menus in general in the game. I don't know who designed it, but like the UI in the game is not smooth whatsoever. Like I find myself constantly having to go into every menu just to figure out what I wanted to get to in the first place. So when you're in the middle of a game and you're trying to like tell your team like, hey, go to the top lane, go to the bottom lane, by the time you even scroll to it on the list, too late. Like it's done. It's done. So that's my issue right there. Another big issue, Anuj, and I'm not kidding, and I've looked everywhere for it. It doesn't exist. There is no scoreboard in the game. None.
Even better.
Very
Nintendo-esque.
You can look to see who has the most like kills and things like that in the game, but you can't see like the honest scoreboard of like who's winning in the match. The only thing you have to go on in a match is a in-game pop-up that will occasionally say like, you're doing really well, you're really struggling, oh, it's so close. And even that's not accurate because there's been times where it's like we've got the blurb where it says, hey, your team's really struggling, and then no joke, 10 seconds later the match is over and we won by like 200. And it's like, no. And so it's difficult, I would think, even if you're communicating, right? To know the pace of the game. Like at this point in time, everything is just balls to the wall, no real strategy involved because you don't know, like, unless you just have someone who's like math genius and can keep your totals of what's going on, you have no idea what the score is. So even though you think you're kicking ass, all of a sudden the game ends and it's like you guys lose by 50 or 100 and you're like, what the hell?
Like, how the hell did that happen?
Like I thought we were doing pretty well, and you just didn't realize, well, no, it's some dude's been sneaking around behind you, dumping in points or whatever. And so it's just not to have the score is such a Nintendo thing to do, to being like, we don't want people to worry about the score. It's not about winning or losing. It's just about having fun. but at the end, we're going to blast you if you're losing. So it sort of is about winning. So
Yeah.
just an
Then
oversight.
no chance this becomes a credible esport.
No. Now, it will
Like,
be because it's Pokemon. So they'll have it at like their World Championship.
It will be played at
Right.
places, but not as like a true. It'll never be a headliner
No.
type game. And the biggest thing that I could say to that is haven't even played the game. I can tell you that because it's Nintendo.
Right.
And they don't care about that. And that's not why they make their games, and I'm not saying that's why you should make them, but
here's my argument to that.
Built around a MOBA type atmosphere is only known for one thing, and that's competition.
And that's what I'm saying is if you want to say that with Smash at the beginning, sure, whatever, right? But yeah, this is a MOBA. And we know it's a reskin of all the other MOBAs out there. You cannot tell me that Nintendo created this without the idea of like, let's see, the only game mode in this is a 5v5 competition mode where you fight each other and get to the other base to try to score points. Like, that's pretty basic, like, game design to say, hey, maybe we should put in a scoreboard. Maybe we should make it some way possible for these people to even know what's going on, if they should be focusing on defense or continuing offense or changing up their strategy. Nothing. There is nothing to help you out on that realm. So, like I said, that's rough. The lack of communication is rough. I played yesterday with my brother, which I think was the first time I played video games with him in probably over a decade, because Anuj, as you know, my older brother, Anthony, not the competitive gaming type. In fact, he's told me before the reason he doesn't play games with us is because we are super competitive and he just isn't that way. So I was trying to get him in Discord to play Pokemon Unite with me, so we had some voice comms going, and he was like, oh, I can't figure out my Discord password. Let's just play the game. And I was like, slam my head into a car door, why don't you? So it's just, like I said, as a Pokemon fanboy hat coming back on, it is a lot of fun. If you want to just get on and be Pikachu, be Charizard, whatever, and have fun with Pokemon, it's awesome. And I find myself, I'm going to be playing it more and more. That being said, Pokemon fanboy hat off.
If you're not
a
MOBA fan, but not a Pokemon fan,
you're going to hate it. You're absolutely going to despise everything about this game, and probably even more so because all you're seeing is the hype built around it from all the Pokemon fans saying how awesome it is. But from a competitive, not even just a competitive gaming standpoint, from just a game standpoint, it misses so much. There is also a slight pay-to-win factor. So keep in mind, it's free to play. It looks like a free-to-play game. It feels like a free-to-play game. And furthermore, there are items that you can purchase which will increase your damage, and you can even upgrade those items and expedite the upgrading process by purchasing real money to get the...
that's kind of huge. How is that a small thing?
And there are 3 in-game currencies. So if you need any proof that it's a free-to-play game, there's like 3 or 4 in-game currencies. So already they're just nickel and diamond people.
The Apex model of currency.
And I say it's I don't know how much of an impact it is because I just haven't seen it yet to know, like...
Oh, just wait.
Right, of course. That's what I'm saying. Like, give it time and let me see if a 5% damage increase really makes a difference compared to someone who knows what they're doing, right?
But from an esports perspective, that's a
no-go.
deal breaker.
No-go.
It's a deal breaker.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely not acceptable. So that's why I said, if you are a Pokemon fan, you're going to love it. If you're not a Pokemon fan, you're going to despise it. You're going to think, what the hell is everyone smoking? This game sucks.
Like, what are y'all talking about?
Right. There's so many things wrong with this game. So, I don't know if I can dare say in the year 2021, just play a game to enjoy it, but that's what you need to do with this. Enjoy it while it's here. I don't know in a couple of months what the player base will be like. I'd have to imagine somewhat decent because it is Pokemon after all. But again, it is also painfully obvious when you're playing in a room with people who know what they're doing in a MOBA compared to not. So even like my brother, who again, not a competitive gamer, it's just like, trying to pinch up and then you kind of back off a little bit, pinch up, back off, and he's just pinching all the way in. And I'm like, bro, follow my lead. Like, do not go in. You are going to get destroyed. But, like I said, I'll play it after the show. If you want to play, add me. I'll have to get my code, so hit me up on Discord or Twitter. But that's the other stupid thing that Nintendo did. Is I guess because this is on a completely different server base, because it's going to connect to the phone, you have an in-game friends list that is different from your Switch friends list. So even though I have all my friends on Switch, I don't know if any of them play it because I have to add them in-game. So I don't get it.
I mean, it's just like handful of bad decisions that will be ultimately detrimental to the game. But again, if you're a Pokemon fan, I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
It's awesome. I'm not like, I won't even sugarcoat it. Here, I'm gonna put my code. Is that backwards? It is backwards, isn't it?
No, HKC 1MY4.
That is my code. Go ahead if you're on stream, take a screenshot, whatever, add me, and we'll go from there. Like I said, if I'm shit you not, if we got a team of 5 people and all got in Discord and coordinated, you could probably be top rank. Like, there is no way people use that in-game communication effectively to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, even like I have a couple buddies and they're like, oh, I played rank. Bro, it might be a Pokemon game, but I'm try-hard Tim here. Okay, I'm not playing rank without comms. Like, you're insane. Like, you are nuts because it's honestly a roll of the dice at that point. You are just hoping you can steamroll the other team before they steamroll you.
And you won't know that until it's over.
And yeah, exactly. You'll have no idea. I mean, you might get an idea, right? But either way, fun game. Too soon review though. Pokemon fan, awesome game. 10 out of 10. Not Pokemon fan, shit game. So there's that.
Let's get on to a good dude of the week.
You know what's funny is there was going to be a good dude of the week today, and it was going to come from the offices of Blizzard. But now they got demoted to just an e-news blurb for this fun little fact because, Anuj, in good faith, I could not put anything to answer Philly Esports questions about is Pokemon cross-platform. I gotta assume it's going to be cross-platform between mobile, and that's why your friends list is separate from Switch. I have to assume
it would be the only thing that makes sense to do that.
Yes,
like why you would do that.
And again, it is such a microtransaction heavy game. Like you would be high if you thought people were going to have different accounts on different platforms and pay for both. So it is painfully obvious. You can tell the difference between because I think Tencent has their hands involved with this game. It is crazy. You can see the difference of like an Asian influenced free-to-play game and a Western influenced free-to-play game. It is painful. They both suck. Don't get me wrong. One is not better than the other, but you can also tell the difference of like where their head is at.
We trick you into spending our money. They make it blatantly obvious what you're going to get. There is no gambling. It's like, hey, you want a 5% damage increase? Give me $20.
Right. Yeah. Battle Pass.
You want a 5% damage increase? Open this case. See what you get. On a scale of 1 to 10, let us know.
Yeah. So, there it is. So I got to imagine it's going to be cross-platform. But, Anuj, Activision Blizzard made headlines yet again, and again for nothing good. Nothing that you want to be in the headline for anyways. So I woke up today to see Activision Blizzard in the headlines yet again for a frat boy, what they are calling a frat boy-like mentality in their offices, with a plethora of sexual assault, sexual harassment cases, even a suicide due to the organization, which we can get to in a moment, but absolutely nothing good. The fact that the state is suing and investigating Activision Blizzard is definitely not something I was expecting to wake up to today.
Yeah, like it's it's embarrassing that it's still going on, is what it seems, right? Like it feels like once the Me Too movement kicked off, like you saw all these major organizations trying to make changes to show inclusivity and diversity and kind of just try to like tighten up, right? And then here we have Activision Blizzard, a company that during most companies' toughest year turned one of their largest profits of all time, have till this day probably still the largest MMO. They have a franchise league in multiple esports, the only group to do so. They have famous IPs across the board, whether they've let them kind of die off with StarCraft and, Diablo coming back, trying to make a comeback here. They have everything they need. And all they have to do are do things the right way, and they'll be out of the spotlight, right? And yet they managed to once again find a way to mess it up. And this is bigger than, oh, people are cheating in Warzone, or God, the developers behind WoW have to be some of the dumbest, most moronic people to kill one of the biggest games of all time. Or StarCraft, you are the only RTS that's even viable, and you let yourself die off somehow. Like all of those things seem so small compared to the trouble they are about to be in. And if these allegations are true, and that's what they are right now, Tim, is they are allegations until we go through the due process. If these are true, A, not really that surprised, based on how they treat their consumer. What makes me think that they're going to treat their internal employee right? Um, but more so, like, these are beyond we're being overworked. Like, you're going
Right.
to be in a
Right.
lot of trouble for some of this
Because
stuff.
we've heard these rumors flying around Blizzard and Activision Blizzard for years. Even first count hands where we know people who have worked there and they have said, yeah, we get overworked. You're working 16 plus hours a day. They don't pay enough to even afford food, so the only food you can even have is the free like cereal that they offer in the cafeteria. Like I've heard that from friends who have worked at Blizzard. So we already knew that it, wasn't as cool to work at as everyone thinks. Because in my eyes, I was trying to explain this to my wife earlier today when I was trying to go over this news with her, which she cared oh so much about. Is like this is working at Disney, right? If you are in like that type of field, working at Blizzard is like working at Nintendo, right? It's just one of those dream jobs that you just think, if I could just get a job there, doesn't matter what I'm doing, doesn't matter the pay, I am working for Blizzard. Like they make World of Warcraft, they make StarCraft, like they make some of the most classic games that we grew up playing. It doesn't matter. This is like the pinnacle of places to work at. So you thought, unless you were a dude, then I guess it was pretty awesome.
Until they sold their soul to Activision, right? Like, has anything good since the acquisition kind of took place? Like, I feel like it's just been one negative thing after. I mean, nothing has gone well in my eyes, other than them being able to turn a profit, right?
Right,
Like that's
profit
been
wise.
the positive, is that they're making a lot of money. But even as a dude, I know you're saying that jokingly, but like this is not, what kind of environment is this that anybody would want to be in?
So it's
Like if you see your colleagues getting harassed, you see people complaining and nobody doing anything. You have people that are being completely overworked. We had people that were underpaid, and that whole equality thing was a big thing for Blizzard just not too long ago. You did mass layoffs in a time where you are making more money than ever. You have a CEO
on the
who
same day
pulled
your
in.
CEO gets
Yeah, I'm not. We're not even done. You have a CEO who pulled in what, a $200 million paycheck, and out of his good graces, eventually, because of the backlash, gave X amount of it back, or however much he gave back. You have an, a substance abuse problem in your Call of Duty league that's now it's already widely known. Now it's like publicly out there because videos have been made and conversations have happened, and you still made zero public statement on it. Like, tell me what kind of company this is that somebody would want to work for looking forward. There is not one thing that I could tell you right now, today, that's positive about Activision Blizzard other than the fact that they make a lot of money. Outside of that, World of Warcraft has become a shit game. We still play it, but it's become a shit game, and we can all admit to that. StarCraft IP is dead. Diablo, for I think we got to play test that game 3 years ago now at BlizzCon. Still don't have a release date. Like, what positive could you sell somebody? Even Call of Duty, the glorious Call of Duty, they've killed off MP, the one part of the game that we all grew up playing. We weren't growing up playing Warzone. Like, that's a new thing. Oh, but by the way, the one thing that is going good for you, also don't implement an anti-cheat. So there's still a negative spin and connotation around that game. It's embarrassing. I feel bad for the people that work there and have to do it for the paycheck, because that's why they're there at this point, because they're not doing it to build their reputation anymore. Nobody looks at Blizzard,
No.
and I'm going to say Blizzard because that's how we all know
Right,
them,
yeah.
as like this iconic company anymore. They're not
No.
that.
And that's who I feel bad for. Are the people not, well, obviously you feel bad for the women and anyone directly involved in this and the negative side of things, right? Because for those who don't know, it is sexual harassment, drinking, but like getting drunk in the workplace where dudes are then walking up to girls and groping them and making inappropriate comments, and them going to HR to report their bosses, and HR handing them a booklet from Harvard talking about being oversensitive at the workplace, and just top down and middle management all between. Total shit job, right? It's a total shit show right now. And I agree with you, Anuj. If I worked at Blizzard right now and someone was like, "Oh, Tim, where do you work in the video game industry? Where do you work?" I'd be like, "A little indie company. Don't worry about it." Like,
I just do an esports podcast.
right, like,
I wouldn't even mention the Blizzard part of it.
Right. Like, it would be a hard pill to swallow today, waking up. And like you said, I'm sure this does not seem like it was unknown to anyone working there. It seemed like it was pretty prevalent. I even saw reports of it in their Austin office, right? So it wasn't just like, oh, well, this is a California office type of thing. No, this was even happening in their Austin office, which is what I'm saying. It is top-down company mentality, the way they think about this stuff. So I feel bad. I feel bad for, the guys who work at the company that weren't partaking in all this frat boy, I call it frat stuff because that's what the articles were saying, frat boy mentality. Because it's like, now you're a dude working at Blizzard, and sorry, but you are getting painted with a brush right now. Like, life isn't fair, but it's definitely true. You are guilty by association at this point if you are a male working at Blizzard.
You've made Riot look like saints. Like, that's what you've done. Is you've taken all this attention off of Riot, who's had these struggles for years, and you made them look like the good guy all of a sudden.
Riot's defense is going to go into court and be like, guys, we weren't that bad. Like,
we weren't Blizzard.
At
least we gave you a good game. Like, at least we're putting out Valorant and League of Legends. Like, they don't have anything at the moment.
And the worst thing about this too, if I read the article correctly, is the state had already spoken with them in the past saying, hey, you have 3 years to get your shit straight. Like, we have heard about this. We're looking into it. You have 3 years to figure it out. And now 3 years later, the state re-looked into them and said, guys, this is like worse than what we left you at. What the hell is going on? So you mean to tell me that the state of California said, Blizzard, guys, here, listen, Bobby, listen to us. Which, first off, when your CEO goes by Bobby, not Bob, not Robert, but Bobby. I don't want to say every company with a CEO of Bobby, but come on. But so you're telling me the state of California went up to them and said, guys, listen here. Maybe you guys didn't get the memo, but there's this whole thing going on. It's called Me Too. And all we're asking you to do is get to the minimum level of douche. Right now you are a major douche. I just need you to be a douche. Okay? Just maybe don't grope your female employees. That's all we're asking you to do. We're giving you a Me Too mulligan, Anuj. Like, Listen, times have changed. Maybe you guys didn't hear about it. You have 3 years to just not sexually harass your female employees. Can you do that for us, Blizzard?
We'll pay you part of that $200 million bonus
Right.
to just be straight laced.
Can you do that for us? And Blizzard still somehow managed to not do it.
Yeah, I mean it's embarrassing. I mean, at the end of the day, they've put themselves in this situation. It's been a poorly run company from a consumer standpoint. Again, I know they're making money, and that is probably the end goal for them.
Right.
But at one point, it used to be about making good games. All of those people that were part of Blizzard are now part of a company called Dreamhaven. And I'm going to take a moment here to give them a little bit of a shout out because with all the negativity going on, this is all your OGs from Blizzard that actually built that name, and it's the reason we know that name, have all moved over to Dreamhaven Studios. They're working on a handful of titles. They partnered up with a bunch of ex StarCraft devs from Blizzard and bought them out and integrated them into their company. And so that's where the focus for me on old Blizzard is.
Mhm.
This is new Blizzard. This is not a Blizzard that we know or have come to love. I mean, it's honestly just it feels like another big company that's shitting the bed. That's what it is. Like my heart is not with Blizzard anymore. Like it's
No.
just it's never it hasn't been the Blizzard that we've known for a long time.
And it's a shame too because it's like I did consider myself like a Blizzard fanboy. Like I played all of their games. I mean,
bought posters and
yeah, it's like here
I
I have like a Blizzard statue. I got a Blizzard poster off camera. Like I have Blizzard stuff all around me in my office. So it's like it's a weird feeling of like, I feel a little obligated to not play WoW anymore just until they get their shit straight or, there's so many other options like Twitch chat's talking about. Like, we're already seeing a lot of people make the switch over to Final Fantasy. New World closed beta just started. Like, what a hell of a day for that to start, right? Like, day 2 of your closed beta, and this bomb drops about Blizzard. So you have so many people now probably at least trying
You've
it.
seen the content creators go away from Blizzard, right?
Yeah.
Look at Asmongold. Asmongold has made headline news outside of our world, right? Like I'm talking about real headline news for the impact and shift that has taken place because he switched over to Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy was already doing great before Asmongold got there. Don't get me wrong, but he was able to pull a large part of his fan base, which is by far the biggest WoW fan base there is, and has moved him over to try other games. I think he's right now playing New World, but the last couple of weeks he's been playing Final Fantasy. And honestly, guys, I encourage y'all to do the same thing. I know our pull and weight is not nearly that of some of these large content creators, but I would really encourage y'all to do the same thing and give a try to New World. Even though I've bashed it in the past, I'm giving it a shot to see how it is. If you're a Warzone player and you're tired of the crap of hacking and them not caring to fix it, you playing the game and continuing to play the game and buying skins and giving them your money is what's allowing them to be ran poorly. Now they're being run poorly in a totally different way, but it's all encompassing at the end of the day. It doesn't fall too far, right? Like you've now seen, all of this shittiness towards its fan base has now, we can see why that's happening is because look at how your company is managed. Look at how you guys operate internally. Like, am I supposed to think you give two craps about us? So
you can't even sort out your own employees, which I think that speaks volume, right? If you can't even treat your own employees right, how are you going to treat your customers, right? It's like
you just don't care. You're not going to care about them.
Yeah.
It's not about treating us good or bad.
It's a shame.
You're just not going to care.
It's a shame, especially where Blizzard was. We see, obviously, why all those Blizzard higher-ups left, right, in years past. Everyone's wondering, man, what's going on with Blizzard? They've lost all their OGs. Now we know why, right? If this was going on, I've met Jeff from the Overwatch team twice in my life, and I would like to think that he was not involved in any of this, and this is probably why a large reason on why he left. If this was the type of atmosphere that was going on, I could see why a lot of those original guys were like, okay, this is not the family environment anymore. Like, this is not what we were a part of.
and the game that he loves so dearly is dying at a
Right.
rapid pace. So that doesn't help. But yes, we would like to think that he was not part of it. But at the end of the day, nothing surprises
No,
me
of
anymore.
course. And you know what? We know some people who still work there just through the media side of things. And God, I hope none of them are involved because they all seemed like good dudes. But you know what? Like
And
you said,
it's never 100% issue, right? It's not like
no,
it's all
of course
or
not.
nothing. Like it's
Of course
probably
not.
still a minority group there that's doing it, but it's being allowed, and that's the bigger
Right.
problem.
And like I said, like there's even been reports of, a female employee committing suicide over the harassment she took from them during a work trip, and like her nudes being passed around the office and things like that. And then now Blizzard's response was, well, the state of California was just irresponsible and they rushed to just get results. Maybe they did rush to get results, but come on. Like you said, these are all allegations right now, but these are a lot of allegations just to rush. Hey, let's just
A
throw
lot
some
of
things
people
together.
rooting for the state of California to
Right. Like what does the
Get-
state of
get-
California have anything to get?
whatever's done is get it right. That's
Right.
the important thing, right? So if this stuff is happening, I want them to obviously get knocked for what they're doing, and you also kind of want somebody to just stick it to them a little bit, And so they're not going to have a lot of support from the public on this or any of the other issues that they have going on.
No. So maybe I'll give New World. New World's closed beta though. I don't really want to pay just to get into the closed beta by buying it. If I can get a Final Fantasy free trial, I don't know if I've done that too many times or if they're a free to play version. Is there chat right now? People in chat, looks like a lot of you play Final Fantasy. Is there a free like get to level 20?
It was free for a little bit right now. I don't know if that's still going on.
Yeah. Free to level 50, 1 week. Okay. So it looks like I can at least try it. I have not played Final Fantasy since the first Final Fantasy Online, which was what?
I played 14 when the first
Isn't that
launched,
right?
and it really sucked back then, but they have done so much to make it better. So, like, their launch was really abysmal, honestly. It was just a very bad launch. The
What
game got
launch is
bad
it
reviews.
nowadays, right?
Yeah, but it's like one of those things with an MMO. It's really hard to
Oh,
make
yeah.
a comeback.
I mean, I agree.
And Final Fantasy has managed to do that. I mean, they're sitting at over 20 million active, player base right now, which is
And it's on Steam, right?
it is. It is. So if you want to try out Final Fantasy, let Tim know. If you're interested in jumping into New World, I have started playing a little bit here during the closed beta and would love some buddies to play with. So let us know.
Yeah, I am down like a clown, Charlie Brown, just to give something else a shot. If it eases the pain of getting away from Blizzard games for now, so be it. Because I'm not gonna lie, you do feel a little guilty. Maybe this is just us getting older, but you feel a little guilty, like getting on a Blizzard game at this point. At least for today. So, anyways, hopefully anyone involved in the negative side of things at Activision Blizzard has come out on the brighter side of things. If you're listening to the show, I just hope things are good for you. That's all I can hope for. I'm sorry anything happened, but hopefully the bad people have what's coming to them, right? That's all we can hope for. Hopefully Bobby has it coming to him. All right. So, let's get into some e-news real quick. Before we get to that, let me tell you about the show sponsor, or for e-news anyways, is Philly Esports. Go to phillyesports.net right now. You can sign up for 2 things. Their second Cup Series for Rocket League coming up August 28th, $2,000 prize pool there. And their Call of Duty Cold War, that's kind of hard to say, Best of 5 Search Control Hardpoint. That is Saturday, August 14th, so just in about 3 weeks or so. Both sponsored by the U.S. Army. Go check it out. It's completely free to sign up. So all these people who constantly ask us, how do I go pro? I see it on the subreddit all the time. How do I go pro in esports? This is it. You start out with these tournaments. They're free to play. Even if you're like a little org and you need publicity, do it, right? If you think you're good enough, clean up in these, right? It's easy money. Easy money. It's free sign up. What can go wrong? So phillyesports.net. We also have some exciting news to talk about them here in the next coming weeks as well. So keep an eye on Twitter and of course, the show, phillyesports.net. All right. E-news. In CS news, JW has been benched from Fnatic. Kind of writing on the wall. I think we've even talked about this before, that he'd probably be the most likely one to get benched.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of just need an overhaul in general. We'll see who they end up picking up. I think some rumors have been like Mezzi and MSL, and we'll see if that's enough. But they need a revamp. It just feels really stale. It doesn't feel like they have another run in them, and so probably the first of a couple of moves still, because we now saw what's his name, drawing a blank, their former IGL, Golden, is no longer with them too. So we've seen the IGL out. We've seen the longest tenured player out. JW, again, a lot of respect to him. For those of you that are maybe newer to the Counter-Strike scene, the dude is an absolute legend. He's also one of the best personalities that we have had in Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, at the very least. So absolute legend, multiple major winner, on a legendary team. Maybe a fresh start's what's needed. Maybe that's in Counter-Strike, maybe that's in Valorant, but I would love to see him still be involved in some way, because he really is one of the best personalities we've had in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, and I even saw some talks. Like, I think at this point, you just always have to... Someone's at least going to bring it up. I don't know if you necessarily have to entertain the thought, but of him possibly moving over to Valorant. I honestly don't see that. I think JW is a Counter-Strike ride till he dies kind of guy. I'll be surprised if he makes that move over to Valorant, especially since he was such... he was longest tenure guy on Fnatic by... So I would be surprised.
I also have never seen NBK moving over, though, to be fair. Right, and especially after NBK's interview about Valorant, saying he thought the game was overrated, and then NBK, a lifer, 1.6 to CS:GO guy, I never would have seen him making the change. So
man, and JW is only 26.
It's really young.
I didn't know he was so young. I didn't know he started so young. Yeah, he's only 26. I mean, he could definitely... He's got
plenty of gaming left.
Yeah, I was going to say, he could take a year off and still go to Fnatic, right? Like, he could... Or not Fnatic, Valorant. So, we'll see. We'll see there. So, Godspeed to JW. I can tell you who Fnatic isn't going to pick up, and that is S-Tag, as he is officially signed with Complexity after they announced 30 minutes after announcing that they dropped Rush. So, quick turnaround time.
Kind of did Rush a little dirty there. And
a little, but they didn't even let people
Rush
see.
has been like the ultimate team player for them, and it'll be interesting to see where now he finds a home. Like, we have these like free agent rotations going on here of big names, and so
they didn't even let people have time to retweet the Rush news before they announced S-Tag signing.
I don't mind the move, however, as much as I like Rush. This is an intriguing move to me, and it keeps them as now a primarily Danish lineup. I think 3 out of the 5 players are Danes, and so the move seems a little bit more fitting. Plus, obviously, Rush most likely does not want to live in Europe, so maybe there's more to it. And
kind of curious too. I feel like this is S-Tag's second chance, right? So we'll see after the botched C9 experiment. This is kind of his redemption story. So a lot riding on that.
Interview him and ask him what his salary is, just to see what the drop off was.
Do you feel like this roster is built for LAN?
You think he's still getting $35K a month?
God, no way. But after seeing Zero's girlfriend, anything's possible in esports. In major discussion here, we will know. Hopefully, we will know tomorrow, Friday. So by the time you're listening to this, what's going on with the major. So apparently the decision will be made by the city, or not the city, the country of Sweden tomorrow, as far as if they are going to view this major as a sporting event and allow it to happen, or an entertainment event and not allow it to happen. My gut says not going to happen, because they've already said no to the TI, and this is in the same realm. However, it's not for lack of effort, because literally everyone and their mother on CS side is getting involved. Like, you're having like the mayor get involved.
CS is also a bigger game over there than like a League of Legends or a Dota, CS is like the prime time game in that sense in a lot of these countries. And so
yeah,
I don't know. Like maybe there's a chance. I'm keeping my fingers crossed because I would love for them to have it. They're so deserving of it, and what a great place to have a major. So I am hoping that it happens. I'll stay hopeful until we get the final decision here.
Right. And also the ESL Pro League coming up. I believe it's season 12, if I'm not mistaken. Sad news, will be held online.
Is it surprising though?
I guess not when I think about it. I guess I was just spoiled with Cologne going in person, that maybe they could figure it out, but I guess just with it being longer and everything, it's...
League play to me doesn't make sense being on LAN right now. Like save it for the big events.
Like I said, I guess if we had a conversation about it, you probably could convince me it would have been online. So
and just like any company, ESL saw themselves, I think, turn a profit for the first time ever during COVID, and so there is going to, don't be surprised if we see more online events even after COVID is fully gone. I know we're seeing a resurgence in cases and spikes right now, but do not be surprised, once COVID is gone, if there are still X number of events that will stay online. They've also mastered that production piece of it, and
all these companies are like, man, it's really easy to make profit when you're not flying all these teams and putting them in a hotel. Like,
yeah, I mean, these events cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So to be able to cut back in certain areas, like for me, ESL Pro League, is the playoffs going to be on LAN?
I'd have to imagine, because that's a little easier to manage.
Like, isn't that what everybody cares about anyway?
Yeah, of course. Like you said,
like for league play matches,
I mean, most of the pro leagues back in the past were all online. That's the whole VP joke that we always make, right? Is that
I bet the players to some extent don't mind some of this stuff being online either. Like, do you really want to fly out once every 3 weeks to play one league play match? Now you can consistently play in the league throughout, weeks in a row instead of every 3 weeks playing a game. So.
Right.
I don't know. There's some positives to it. Although I want to see more LAN events, I kind of just care about it for the larger events.
I'm looking on Steam. New World is also on Steam for $40. No judgment. I don't know if I can do Final Fantasy, man. I
don't think you can, personally. Also, the knock for you is all your gamer buddies are not playing that right now. They're all playing New World at the moment.
That's true. That's true.
Sometimes
in order to be cool, you just have to follow the crowd, kids. So
give us a couple weeks. Let us be your test dummies. We'll let you know.
Yeah. Let me know how it is, and I'll probably I'm not a big Final Fantasy guy. And then you look at the screenshots, and there's people with cat ears, and I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can stomach myself to do it, but we'll see.
Tim is anti-furry, so a game like Final Fantasy is not going to be in his wheelhouse, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll see. Adam plays it though, so maybe we can convince Adam to play New World, and then it's all gravy from there. Let's just pick another MMO that we can lie to ourselves saying we have fun playing it, even though in reality we hate everything about it.
We're all just waiting for Battlefield 10.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. I refuse to play World of Warcraft after October. I'm taking a stance. I said it. I'm brave. After October, I refuse to play. I'm going to go play for a morally ethical company like EA.
There you go.
Who cares about their consumers?
Only puts out quality products.
Right. That's the thing. People are like, I'm not gonna play their games anymore. They're not morally sound. Good luck playing any game.
Bro, 85 to 95% of games right now, in general, that come out suck.
I'm not saying to make light of what's happening with Blizzard, but good luck. If you need a ethical stamp of approval to play the game
from a AAA studio.
Yeah, right. Godspeed. Have fun. Let me know when you find one. In Overwatch news, Overwatch League playoffs will be held on LAN right here in our backyard, September 16th through the 19th at the Arlington Esports Stadium, reaping all the benefits for Texas's lack of COVID restrictions. So they're hosting that, including, like we said, the Stage 5 COD finals coming up. The finals, however, for Overwatch League will be held in LA on the 25th. So don't know if that's going to be open to the fans. I would have to imagine it is, much like with Call of Duty.
all of this is a wait and see.
Yeah.
Like cases are spiking again right now.
And California
anything
is
that we mentioned is a LAN event, and we're talking a couple of months out. Keep your fingers crossed. If you want it to happen,
the only one I'm
honestly,
confident in is Texas, because there's just no way our governor is going to restrict it. No way.
It's not the I think the fan restriction though
Maybe.
would be run by smart people, and so they
We'll
would
see.
potentially restrict fans if there is a resurgence in cases. And as much as Texas doesn't fear it, we're also probably one of the states with, half the people probably not vaccinated, so that doesn't help either.
True. Just wear masks. Well, we're media. We're not fans. We're professionals. This was going to be good dude of the week because I thought it was cool that Blizzard and the Overwatch team was listening and took fan suggestions, but then after everything, I couldn't do it. But Baptiste's immortality field is now a disco ball for his funky Baptiste skin. And that was directly a fan suggestion. So I thought it was cool that they listened to a fan for once and did this. But guess what? Sexually assault is not cool, so you don't get good dude of the week, Blizzard. Shame on you.
In between passing around colleagues' nudes, they decided to surf Reddit for a comment. That was sweet of them.
They saw a GM ticket in between nudes, and they were like, "What is this doing here? This isn't supposed to be here. Work. What is that? Let's hand it to the female to do it." That's what it was. It was probably a female employee who actually listened to the fans for once. Probably was one that was laid off too. So good job, Blizzard. Hey, can I make a statement here that's never been done in the history of TCR?
Go ahead.
Months ago, we made Bobby good dude of the week because he gave some of his bonus back to the people. I'm going to revoke his good dude of the week.
It's redacted for sure.
Like, you done effed up, Bobby. No longer good dude of the week from like 4 months ago. Congratulations.
Can this also be a nomination? Because it wasn't under the Yikes of the Week category, but could this fall under a nomination for?
We might just have a Blizzard Yikes of the Year category at this point. Like, just what Blizzard Yikes is going to win.
How many IPs can one company kill off in 1 year? It's kind of exciting to see.
Yeah, it's going to be insane. In Valorant news, Built by Gamers are looking at former Moon Raccoon coach Raptors, friend of the show Raptors, to be their coach.
We had him on a couple months back, and really good dude, and that would be exciting. I know he after talking with him, you could genuinely see this guy has a passion for coaching. It's something he really, really wants to do. So if he gets that opportunity to do it, we're going to be rooting for him.
In Call of Duty news, Slacked is dropped from the Mutineers and goes scorch earth on his stream afterwards, basically saying that he didn't like any of them anyways.
Really shit on them. He hasn't been on the team from the beginning. He really wasn't ever meant to be on the team anyway. It was because they had a last minute, issue that they brought him on. So, I mean, be grateful for the opportunity that you got a paycheck for a year without playing is what I would say. So we'll see if he gets picked up, if and where. It's been a couple years since we've seen the all Slacked, and he's gonna have to prove it somewhere. There's a lot of young guns coming for him.
Genesis is back. So on the weekend of Smash Summit, Genesis announced that it is back for the first time in roughly 2 years. San Jose, January 28th through the 30th. Melee in person is back, and I am so excited for it. Smash was meant to be played in person, so it's just the best for everyone. A lot of other e-news to get to here, Nuge. Ubisoft has revealed their new Tom Clancy IP, and boy, was it...
We could do an impromptu clutch or kick with the next 4.
Okay. All right. So Tom Clancy's new X-Defiant. It's their new game that we thought was going to be some open world-esque type of... We were so off on this. Everyone was off.
We weren't, but we were.
Everyone wasn't expecting this. So they announced a free-to-play 6-on-6 class-based shooter, and in their own words, and this is when I turned off the trailer the first time, a mix between tactical shooter and punk rock. And I was like, and I'm out. I am done.
Okay, so kick for both of us. I'll answer for both of us, so this doesn't become a
the game,
but
not what I needed.
it looks okay at best. It looks like a free to play game. The abilities look relatively like I already see shields everywhere
Right.
popping
I
up.
just
The
didn't
frustration's
need.
already there.
I didn't need, and I don't think anyone was asking for another class-based competitive shooter.
A class-based arena shooter. Like we have Halo around the corner. This was not the time. Like
Right.
this was not the time. You know,
Like, I
everyone's
just
gonna
don't see
migrate
where
over
they
to
thought,
that,
you know
so.
what the market needs? Another one of these. And it's called
Unless they
X.
release tomorrow, like they're gonna have a tough time succeeding in
It's
this
called
space.
X Defiant. It's not even a good name.
No. So kick for both of us.
Okay. Next one here. Battlefield 2042 reveals more info at the EA Play event. It's called, correct me if I'm wrong, Battlefield Report? Is that what it's
Yeah, something like. Either way,
officially called?
there's a way for you to play old maps that they've made look gorgeous again for you, and so you're going to go back in time through some of the Battlefield series to play on some of these older maps, have some of the older vehicles. I think they
Guns.
mentioned like 40 plus vehicles, guns, old character skins,
Everything.
and like everything. It's so awesome. Even if you
Clutch.
don't care about it,
Clutch.
you have the normal game to play. But for people like, I mean, Tim and I played Battlefield 1942 pretty religiously back in the day, and so like to go back and play some of those old large scale maps, I can't wait. Huge kick for, I mean, clutch for both of us. Whole game so far is looking like a clutch until we play it and find out otherwise. But
And as
of
Twitch
right
chat
now,
says,
pumped.
Bad Company 2 maps too, which is one of the best Bad Company was so underrated. Maybe it wasn't. I thought it was really good. Maybe it's properly rated. I don't know what the public thinks of it, but I loved it. So
Didn't get the best reception for like Battlefield games, but in general, yeah, like the maps, bringing any of these back,
it's awesome.
is
Look,
just a
it's
big
exactly
win.
what
It's
these
a big
games
win.
need
It
to
doesn't
do.
hurt anything.
Right. Yeah, exactly. What does it hurt? You have all this games like bust their brains thinking of new content. You got it right here. You have over a decade's worth of maps. Just do it again. Like, it's fine.
You get to pick the best ones this time.
So now the $60 price tag for what I thought was just a normal multiplayer game, it's like, okay, this is starting to feel a little.
It feels like I'm getting a collector's edition of something.
Right. Yeah. It's, you know what I love about it, and I've said this before when it's talking about events. This feels like a celebration of Battlefield, and I love it.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely feels like they're just saying, guys, we know you love Battlefield, and we love that you love it. Here you go.
Yeah,
Like,
100%. I think they're in for like a huge hit. Yeah, I really do.
Yeah.
Like, I really think this.
let me tell you what, it really doesn't matter if I play New World or Final Fantasy, because come Battlefield, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
we'll all be playing. With Battlefield, they always have a little bit like there's term links with a game like that, because you can't play that game for a year straight without dabbling in other games on the side. But very excited for it, and we'll just keep waiting as we get more info here.
New World Beta, as we mentioned, also went live, and Nuge has played it a little bit. Maybe get
it
a
looks
too
a
soon.
lot better than I played the original beta, and that was trash, and I quit within 20 minutes. This one, I was sad that I had to get off earlier. We had to go make dinner and stuff, and so I had to jump off. But I was like, okay, got to like level 5. I'll tell you one thing I like about it, Tim. There's not a linear way to level. You just do shit. And that's kind of nice. If I'm crafting, I'm leveling. If I'm killing mobs, I'm leveling. If I want to follow some of the quest's main storylines, you're leveling. If you want to go explore, it's leveling. And that's kind of nice, because it's not the WoW type of progression where it's like, do these 300 quests and you will get bar and a half.
Right.
And like it's just different. You could play at your own pace. PvP, open world PvP, it doesn't matter if you're 10 or 15 levels underneath somebody. It's action PvP, which means you physically have to aim to hit people in this game. And they said if you're 10 levels under somebody, you have a very good chance that you can kill them if you're the more skilled player. And so stuff like that excites us. And 3-player dungeons, 4-player dungeons, kind of fits our group. So we're excited I say we're excited. A group of my friends got me kind of excited over the last few days, and so I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to see how it is. And look, after Blizzard's news, it was kind of easy to be like, let me find something new.
Right, yeah. Well, again, Blizzard is making it easy to think of other games.
So for me right now, with Quick Clutch, that could change after I get a chance to play, but I like that when they go back to the lab, they come out with a better product, and that was really important for Amazon because they haven't had a good run in the gaming industry. We need them to be successful also. Like, that would be good for us as gamers if Amazon feels like they should continue to invest in gaming. So hopefully it's good. We'll see.
We shall see. And last but not least, for the impromptu clutch or kick, you have Pro Evolution Soccer will now officially be known as eFootball. Free to play, cross-platform, with regular free-to-play updates. Anuj, I am kicking this one like a soccer ball. Although, love the idea of a free-to-play sports game on the PC, because as a PC player, it's one thing that I feel like we get to miss out a lot on are quality sports games. Even the ones ported over by EA aren't that great. But eFootball is the dumbest name I've ever heard for a video game in my life. I can only imagine, because again, this is an East developer, I can only imagine it's going to be riddled with microtransactions, and it's just going to look like a free-to-play game.
Well, so their microtransactions are going to be the same as FIFA, like player cards and stuff like that to unlock like fantasy teams and do all that. I'm actually giving this a clutch, and I've played PES a lot back in the day. It's the second most popular soccer game behind FIFA. We obviously played more FIFA growing up, but I did play a lot of PES at one point. There were some years where I bought PES over buying FIFA when I was younger, and so I'm excited for them because for me, the free to play, huge. Soccer is the largest sport in the world, so don't underestimate the number of people that will come and try this game just because it's a soccer game, and if it's done well, even more so. Like, people will migrate in crossplay. FIFA has never done crossplay, and to do that for a soccer, I mean, for any sports game, doesn't have to be soccer, it doesn't matter, Madden, whatever, like, feels like it should be a necessity at this point. You know, like you all the crap talking that you do between your PS4 friends and your Xbox friends, whatever, you know, PlayStation, Xbox, like, to allow them to play together along with, I think it's going to Switch, and I also believe it's going to be on PC. Like, now I can play a game with my console friends that only play sports games. I like what they're doing. I hope the game is good. I haven't played it in years, but for a free to play, I'm gonna also check it out and see what it's all about. If it's great, again, just a win for the gaming community, because it's like a cross-play, free-to-play sports game. Kind of excited about that.
And real quick, the last couple here we'll just run through is Echo ended up defeating the Mythic Chains of Domination to be the first team for World's First for the newest raid in World of Warcraft. Ended up beating Limit. So Echo is the EU team that we talked about last episode. They got it just before the server update. Insane. Good for them to not give up and just wait for Tuesday. Like, that's awesome.
If they didn't get it that night, they were not going to get first place. Complexity Limit would have got the reset first. They would have gone in with the higher level gear. They got it shortly after reset, like right after reset in their first run. They were able to down Sylvanas. So if they did not get it that night, they would not have been first place. So I'm excited that they were able to do that.
And ESL announces that they are partnering with G4 TV and will produce and broadcast exclusive primetime programs around ESL content, including Katowice 2022. My excitement level is about 50-50 on this one, because G4 TV was so bad when it was bad that I know it's back, but I am optimistically cautious.
If it's not on YouTube TV, it doesn't exist to me, unfortunately.
So there you go. We'll see. I've looked at G4 on Twitter, and it looks like they're just hiring a bunch of people, content creators, that get really excited and yell a lot, which is not my bag, but it is for some people. So there you have it. There is a packed e-news to get to. So much to get to. Such little time. So hit us up on Discord or Twitter. Let us know. New World, Final Fantasy. I'm leaning towards New World because Anuj, you convinced me that people play it, and it doesn't have cat ears. So it's a win. Might actually pick it up tonight because, you know, I have no self-control.
Yeah, I do know that.
We
I
will.
thought I would have figured you already had it, honestly.
I almost
That was
purchased it
something
right now because I saw other people on it too. So probably gonna happen. No self-control. We will be back Monday night. No show Wednesday. Got family in town, so no show or Sunday. We'll be back Monday night. Talk some more esports goodness. Follow us on Twitter at The Center Ring. Join the Discord. Thanks everyone in Twitch chat for participating in the show. Love your face. Pokemon Unite. Hit me up if you want to play. I love it as a Pokemon fan. Hate it as a competitor. And that's it. That's it. We're done. Again, at The Center Ring on Twitter. For Anuj, I'm Tim. We'll see ya. Bye.